Hello and welcome back to the garage. Today we're back on the 1956 Ford 960. So let's get you caught up. If people haven't been here before, this is obviously 56 Ford 960. This tractor's actually been in my family since 1958. And prior to this coming year, this has been my big tractor. It did all of the sickle mowing, baling, and I think it still has a plow on it. It did do all my garden plowing. It did do my snow plowing in the winter, but that was before we got the case. This is hopefully going to be the big tractor this year. Now this thing's still going to be running the mower, just not the baler. Hopefully I can transition over the plowing and the plowing to the case once we get it going. It's going to get worked on soon too. But today what we're going to do is we're going to swap out this carburetor. Now, one thing that I'm curious about is I got on eBay, found one of those $50 carburetors for this. That is not much more expensive than a carb kit for one of these. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I've never seen anybody put one of these Chinese carburetors on here. I know somebody out there's like, oh, it's junk. Well, if you look at how people build them for cars, four-wheelers, whatever, they're hit and miss. Some are great, some are terrible. I'm not throwing this carburetor away regardless. So if it ends up not being good, I'll throw a rebuild kit in this one and we'll be off to the races still. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get this little fella off and let's see if we can get the new Chinesium one on and see what happens. So if somebody has one similar to mine, I think this is just a banjo bolt essentially that runs through the can't think of the fuel bowl name of that, but runs through there into here once that gets filled up. And you have to undo that, undo two screws up here, undo your choke and your throttle linkage, and you're in. I did forget to mention is the reason that I'm changing this is because this carburetor, I'm assuming the needle and seat are just worn out, because that is, to everybody's knowledge, the original carburetor. Nothing's ever been touched inside of it. It runs okay. This last couple of years it's starting to run a little bit worse, and like I said, it sits here and just leaks. Someone could say, oh, you could shut it off at the tank. You could. Those are also known to leak if you touch them, so I'm not touching that. So yeah, I know the sediment bowl, that's the name. I could probably try to find a different one that has a shut off and throw that on there, but then with the banjo bolt set up, you'd have to do something with the fuel line, and I'm just going to go this route. We're going to try this out. It'll work or it won't. If it doesn't, guess what? Now everybody knows, don't buy them. And if it doesn't, I'm going to throw a carb kit in this guy then, and I'll throw him right back on, and we'll be good to go. So that's finally enough talking. Let's get into taking this guy off and getting the new one on. So if anybody's trying to do it themselves, obviously this guy pops off. This guy here is a 9/16. He hopefully will just break loose. Wow, yeah, did pretty easy. And the two up here are 1/2 inch. I need to get something to catch that fuel. I thought this thing was empty. So, yep, I'll get something to catch that, and I'll get this removed. Then we'll look at the linkage and the choke once I get that done. So the old carburetor's off. These are just studs. That stud came out, but I did check with the new one. Threads are the same, so I'm just going to use one old stud, one new stud, and then I'll have basically one new nut. Luckily, everything back here is the same with these balls. If you're not sure how those come off and on, basically you just slide it, take it in or out, whatever you need to do, and then it'll spring itself back and hold itself in place. So I need two hands to get these new guys back on. And I did take the old gasket off. This one just fell off of this guy. I need to get a little bit of grease on him to help him hold in place. Then we'll get him back on. We'll get him back on and get these two guys hooked up, and I guess we'll see how it goes. Obviously, there will have to be some adjustments for idle, air-fuel ratios, things like that, probably load control. But for the most part, this seems pretty plug and play. I'm pretty impressed so far. Let's hope me being impressed stays like that. So the new carb's on. Everything seems like it bolted in really good. This is still dripping, I think, because the bushings or whatever, well, there goes one of them, whatever these washers are inside there, they just got brittle. When I tighten it back up, I must have smashed them. So that's where the dripping's coming from. I think I might try to start this thing, though, and just see how it does, and go from there. Let's see. I kind of have low hopes of it starting, because it should be the same as that of gas, I believe. Let's see. Well, I think I'll call it at that. That carburetor seems pretty good. It does need a little bit of adjustment, because as you can tell, when I went open with it, it kind of stumbled a little bit, but for no adjustments being done, that's pretty good. Obviously, we'll test it. We'll see how it goes long term, but for now, I'm pretty happy with that. So I think we'll call it here. Till the next one.